All right, I've been commissioned to do a repair job on this lovely mid-90s lacquered chair. It's a beautiful design, but flawed. It's part of a set, and this actually has been to me in the past, and I've done some repair work on it. Let me tell you the problem with this design. It's a beautiful, flowing, clean, modern design. However, it breaks all the rules in chair construction. And I'm going to tell you why. It's flawed. If you look at the support of this chair, you have these little cross members here, and on all three sides and the bottom of the seat, okay, which basically provides all the main support of this chair. The overall design of the chair is nice, and if you're just going for aesthetics, then yeah, it's fine. But overall functionality, it's not. Because you have over 2/3 of that length of that chair that's not being supported. So now you have over 2/3 of the chair receiving force, which causes the little glue joints over here to fail. And it might not happen in the first year of owning the chair, but what happens is over a couple of years, from receiving the force of over 2/3 of that back will cause those joints to fail. And it's been proven over and over again that these chairs fail. And they fail all in the same spots. There's really nothing you can do about it. It's just a mere design of the piece. Now this particular chair belongs to a dining room set, and it receives a lot of abuse on a daily basis. It's their everyday dining room set that they use, and these chairs just fail all the time. So that's the design flaw. However, again, if you're looking for something for mere aesthetics that you just want as a showpiece in a dining room setting that you don't normally use everyday use, then it's fine. So the repair job that I've been asked to do on this is basically clean up the joints and provide more support to it and come up with a way so it doesn't happen again in the future. Now, I've already repaired this chair a few years ago. This area right here, the glue joints were failing because of all the pressure that this chair receives with very little support. And I'll show you what I've done there. And my repair job has tested the time. But now we have another issue right there. And eventually somebody's going to fall and get hurt. So let's get to it. The proper repair job for this would be to take it apart, clean up the joints. And these joints right here, this is a mortise and tenon. And down here, I don't know, this might be mortise and tenon, or it might be a dowel construction type system. But I'll show you what I've done in the past, and we'll come up with some new ways to repair it and support it. So let's take a look. Okay, so I have the chair flipped upside down on my bench, and there is the repair job that I've done on these lower stretchers. And what I've done was I've taken it apart, cleaned up the joints, re-glued them, and I actually used a mechanical fastener. I used a pocket screw with a pocket hole. It's concealed. You cannot see it from any direction unless you're under the chair. That's a proper repair job. I've seen people drill holes right through the face of the legs. You don't want to do that. It's unsightly. I mean, yes, you can plug it up and try to match the paint, but you're never going to match the paint. So what we're looking at here is this joint right there. See how that moves in and out? Let me get a better shot. And that's causing the whole back of the chair to fail, and somebody eventually is going to get hurt. There you go. So we have a few things to deal with. All right, so let's go through this. I have the chair somewhat disassembled, and it was very easy to come apart. I have my own personal high back chair right there. Pretty much the same design, but with some significant differences. Let's go through them quickly. Right off the bat, you can tell this chair right here is a beefier construction. This chair is about 4 or 5 years old versus approximately 18 to 20 years old. Let's compare the differences. On this chair right here, you have this flimsy support construction. You have these little support blocks right here. These angle braces, they serve two purposes. Let's go over here. Over here, it serves as a screw down block to hold the seat, the actual seat, in place, and it also serves as a brace to keep the two mating adjoining rails, if you will, cross members, from bracking. As you can see on this newer model, it's actually finger jointed, which that one is, but additionally it is glued and screwed pocket joints to both perpendicular pieces, which gives it strength. On this one, it was glued but not screwed. Now with these types of designs, if one of these braces fail, meaning if it comes loose, it compromises the whole integrity of this support structure, because what happens is if that comes loose, then there's a lot of play, movement in the chair, which eventually will break loose that joint, and then it eventually will break loose that joint, and so on. So one loose joint will compromise the whole structure, and that's what happened in this chair. This is the support piece that's right under the seat. That tenon, as you can see, both tenons, they're intact, but the glue just failed. You know, this is a stress point on these chairs. These joints are stress points. So if one comes loose, it compromises the integrity of all the other joints, because now it's racking and twisting, and every time you sit on it and get up or lean on the back of the chair, it moves it. So that's what happened. Anyway, as you can see, comparing apples to oranges, this is a much beefier construction. It already has pocket holes with screws. It's screwed and glued. And it's a beefier, this is probably 1 3/4 thick right here, and it's, you know, it is design-wise flared down, but it's a much beefier construction versus the flimsiness of this one. So, although it is a poorly designed in terms of, you know, structure-wise, it can be done in a way where you have longevity. So I guess what I'm going to do now is start cleaning up the tenons and the dried glue surfaces, and figure out a more permanent solution and start putting it back together. There you go. Apples and oranges. A much better design right there. The actual support braces are actually higher off the floor, providing more support for the back. It's just a much better design, in my opinion. And this is all maple. I don't even know what this is. It looks like pine, actually, to be honest with you. So that's another problem. It's too soft and too weak. So let's start putting it together. Yeah, I am sitting here. I put the chair, I reassembled the chair back together, and I glued it all up, and I have it clamped all up. So, just sitting here playing my guitar and watching the chair dry. Alright, like I said, it's all done. Glued, screwed, and clamped. Waiting to dry. I have 7 more to do. So just a few tips. When you take apart a chair, when you disassemble it, you want to make sure you remember how to reassemble it. You don't want to put the wrong pieces in the wrong spots, because if it came apart, it should go back together the way it went, the way it was. So also make sure you use clamping coils. I use styrofoam, and mask off with blue tape or whatever kind of tape at the joints so you can prevent any major glue squeeze out, because it's a major pain to remove dry glue off of a finished piece. So just a few words to keep in mind, a few things to keep in mind, but it's all set. He should be happy, should be good for another couple of years. 7 more to do. Let's get to it.